A grand TDP Mahanadu, or a mega conference of party functionaries being held at Kadapa in Andhra Pradesh. It's expected to cement Nara Lokesh's position as the party's future and number 2 at the moment. The Chief Minister and TDP Chief N Chandrababu Naidu's son, who has important portfolios in the state cabinet and has been playing the role of number 2 in the party, is likely to be made working president at the end of the 3-day conference. Likely is the key word there. Remember, the categorical number 2 to Naidu in the Andhra Pradesh government is Deputy Chief Minister and ally Pawan Kalyan. So what's the road ahead for Nara Lokesh as he negates the power balance in Andhra Pradesh? Joining me this evening, two keen observers who have followed the TDP very, very closely for many years. NDTV's Uma Sudhir, also Ravikant Reddy, political editor of The Hindu in Hyderabad. In many ways, Uma, the power balance between the TDP and Pawan Kalyan is one aspect, but as far as the TDP itself is concerned, it has been clear for some time now that Nara Lokesh is clearly the number 2.
So for the initial years, you had this feeling that there were many seniors in the party and they would have said, oh, he's too young to take over. Remember that, Lokesh is almost as old as the party itself. He's 42 years old. And therefore, his succession as the eventual party leader is something that seniors in the party in the initial years were talking about with reluctance. But I must say that Lokesh has evolved from the from the young leader that he was more than 10 years ago when he joined the party, and he has evolved really very radically in the last 2-3 years, where he started his Yuvagalam, and especially when it was baptism by fire in many senses, when Mr. Naidu even went to jail when Jagan Mohan Reddy was the chief minister, and the way Nara Lokesh handled matters was something that has come in for appreciation. And even after he joined a second time as minister in the Naidu cabinet, and his profile has been built very, very carefully to say this is a man who is talking about future ideas and talking about vision for the future, the youth, the women, the farmers. So those six pillars of the party that, as General Secretary of the TDP, that Lokesh elucidated is what is going to be the pillar for the future. And one key point there was about Telugu pride. And internationally, if his grandfather spoke about Telugu pride, Lokesh also now speaking about Telugu pride on the global stage.
Grandfather spoke about Telugu pride to great success. Lokesh, of course, using the same card as, let's say, many other parties. But Ravi, you followed the TDP very closely as well. Given the power balance with Pawan Kalyan in Andhra Pradesh, would one be right in saying that perhaps compared to, let's say, the other sunrise that we are seeing in South India, which is Udayanidhi Stalin in Tamil Nadu, Lokesh needs to be a little more circumspect about the political realities of the TDP and the power balance with the JSP, because categorically Pawan Kalyan is the number 2 to Chandrababu Naidu as far as the government is concerned. You'll have to unmute yourself, Ravi.
Yeah, Veera, thanks. And you should know that Lokesh is a very smart guy, unlike what is portrayed on the social media. I've seen him in Singapore in 2009, and I was surprised, he was sitting with his wife and speaking about Indian economic conditions. I mean, so eloquently. I was just sitting behind them and listening to them. And, when I came back, and he was just nobody in politics at the time, just Mr. Babu's son. But over the years, he has developed his image on social media, was always, in a negative sense. But I think over the last 2-3 years, as Uma said, he has really changed. And the way he projected himself, and then he was trying to take risks and, just getting onto Jagan's camp, I think this was something commendable. And this was not expected by a lot of political leaders within the TDP itself. And but over the years, 2 years, he has definitely risen. And as expected, in a regional party, you can't have others taking over than the sons. That has been the trend across South India, we have seen, or even North India or Indian politics itself. So Lokesh is a natural choice, and he will be definitely. I am sure that he'll be prepared to take over from Naidu. Naidu is a huge figure. I mean, it's very difficult to replace him with a young leader like Nara Lokesh. But the next 3-4 years, I think, given that Pavan Kalyan is the second choice, and he's definitely a bigger figure than Lokesh in terms of films are concerned. But as far as party is concerned, party strengths are concerned, definitely TDP is much ahead than Janasena. It will stay strong because this party was born with Telugu pride, and this will, I think, that the USP of that of the Telugudesam party, which Janasena doesn't have. Janasena is another political party which came up, to fight out against Congress, particularly during the bifurcation of the state. The way Mr. Pavan Kalyan took stance. His emergence is totally different. His party will not be as strong as TDP for the next few years to come. So in that sense, I think he's all set to launch himself, Mr. Lokesh, and I think he'll be able to handle, given his the way he has grown up in the last 3 years.
Veer, I must say,
important points that. Yes, go ahead, Duba. Last 20 seconds.
Veer, I must say that while the TDP succession is a no-brainer, everyone knows that Lokesh is going to take over, and he has evolved and shown himself to be a leader. But the big battle is really going to be the way Pavan Kalyan, though he belongs to a party which is rather small, like Ravi was pointing out, he has also grown, and he has also, kind of strategically placing himself in a place that can make him a successor, to the eventual throne in Andhra Pradesh. And that is where the real battle is going to be, not at this stage when we are talking about who is going to be next number 2 in the Telugu Desam.
Right, the battle for the Telugu pride between a star and the son of a politician, perhaps a competition for the future. But for the moment, of course, we'll keep a close watch on that Mahanadu. Thanks very much to both you and Ravi for joining us here on the Southern View.